She needs to do a little bit more research here. There's no such thing as a table saw.
So her great-grandmother shopped at Home Depot, generally quite an obnoxious person.
Can you not interrupt all the time?
Sorry.
I used to steal. I steal all the time. I stole. You Texans are gonna be crazy about this. I love this. I used to be a contractor. I used to steal all my lumber. 100% of it. Because if you're a woman walking into Home Depot, you can leave carrying like a full DeWalt table saw, and they're like, "The door for you, my lady, after you." I'm getting over it because now people recognize me a little bit, and I don't want to be Winona Ryder, you know. But during the pandemic, I'm gonna wear a mask. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking everything. Oh, you have a sign that says you must wear a disguise. Oh, you also demand I have a getaway car. Crazy.
Do you have any immediate thoughts?
I do. I was wondering why she repeats herself so much at the beginning. So she says, I used to steal, I steal, I stole, I steal.
I used to steal, I steal all the time. I stole.
She's stumbling over her words, and maybe she might do well to practice in the mirror first. Do some practice at home.
Yeah.
Make sure that you can get your words out, that you know what you're going to say, and that you can get it through in a fully flowed sentence. And certainly if you do trip over your words, I wouldn't clip it and then put it online, because that's not something that you want people to see, really.
Because if you're a woman walking into Home Depot, you can leave carrying like a full DeWalt table saw, and they're like, "The door for you, my lady."
Can I stop it there? This is so funny. She needs to do a little bit more research here.
Okay.
Honestly, there's no such thing as a table saw.
Right.
You can use all sorts of different saws for cutting a table if you need to cut a table, and we all do from time to time. So you could use a panel saw, you could use a circular saw or a buzz saw, as they call skill saws, they call them over in America. You could use a jigsaw, a saw cutting blade, or an angle grinder. I think we've talked about those before.
Yeah.
But there is no such thing as a table saw, so she needs to sort that out.
You worked in America on a construct or lumber or something, didn't you?
I worked with lumber and wood. When I got over to America, I was only a young man then, and I was training to be a carpenter. Now, in this country, a kind of slang word for a carpenter is a chippy. But unfortunately for me, and hilariously for them, the word chippy means a prostitute in America. So when I said I was a chippy, much hilarity ensued.
That is funny. That's good. Have you said that on stage before?
No.
Well, maybe you should.
Do you think I should?
I think that's a funny story.
Do you think that could get a laugh?
I think you should tell it exactly like that as well.
I'm getting over it because now people recognize me a little bit, and I don't want to be Winona Ryder, you know.
Okay. So she's referenced Winona Ryder there, who had she was caught stealing.
Winona Driver, I think, isn't it? Not Ryder, but anyway, carry on, yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry, okay. Yeah, so she was caught stealing. She had a bit of a kleptomania phase, I think. And that's what she's referencing there, which is fine. Some people are going to get that, but I think she'd be better served going for a more famous outlaw, maybe someone like Dick Turpin. I think that would be a good choice. Because Winona Ryder, not everyone's going to know about that. People might know the name, but they won't necessarily know that she had that scandal, whereas everybody knows Dick Turpin.
What did Dick Turpin get up to? Remind me. I'm a little behind on the whole Dick Turpin thing, as it's unfolding as we speak, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He's still at large. What's he wanted for? Well, he certainly stole some things.
Just sort of shoplifting and...
Generally quite an obnoxious person.
Is he?
Yeah. Shoplifting. And you know when you shoplift and then you go out and the barriers sort of beep at you? I don't think he stopped. You know, usually you sort of turn around and you go, what's that? And you have to act as if you want to make a show of the fact that you haven't stolen anything. He doesn't do that. I think he just leaves.
Just goes through it, legs it.
Yeah, and as a result, he's wanted. He's a wanted man.
I think what she's doing here is she's saying DeWalt's only good enough to steal. She's really punching down on the DeWalt brand unfairly, in my opinion. I think they're not for everybody, but I think they're a quality brand. You know, there's pros and cons. She's playing to those Milwaukee guys, the guys in the front, the young dudes. She's wanting more of a young audience, and she's thinking punch down on DeWalt. By default, she's then she's building up the whole Milwaukee thing, and she's trying to do that, and that disappoints me, if I'm honest.
But she hasn't mentioned Milwaukee.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's my point. But they'll be there. You mark my words. They'll be there. The Milwaukee guys in the front, and they'll be whooping. Well, we can hear them. I think they'll be whooping at this point.
Yeah. They might be whooping for the joke that she's telling. But you think there's definitely a product, sort of brand rivalry thing going on there.
And I think I don't know what we can see on there, but I would be very surprised if there isn't a Milwaukee logo there within those. Can you not interrupt all the time?
Sorry.
Within those tattoos, there'll be the Milwaukee brand. I mean, it may be around the back of our arm. We may not be able to see it. Fair enough, but it'll be there, Charlie.
But during the pandemic, I'm gonna wear a mask. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking everything. You have a sign that says you must wear a disguise? Oh, you also demand I have a getaway car?
Well, I think that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful what she's done there. She's ended the routine on the phrase getaway car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's set up this stealing story, and she's leaving the scene of the crime, isn't she? And the crime here is that she's stolen laughter from the audience. Yeah. And then she's ended it with the getaway car. So there's this beautiful narrative that she's constructed there, and everyone's going to be thinking, oh yes, I see exactly what you've done there.
She's stolen our laughter and done it with panache, hasn't she?
Exactly right.
Fantastic.
There's an artistry to it, isn't there?
I had a little thought about the ending that we've come full circle in some ways. She starts out with this: I steal, I stole, I steal, I stole, a diversionary tactic from what I've seen as her main purpose, which is to promote the Milwaukee brand, get the kickback, and get this younger audience on board. And then she comes right back at the end with the getaway car again, almost literally a diversionary tactic, I suppose. She's making her getaway. I tell you another thing, Charlie, that I was very struck by was that she uses a British accent, doesn't she? Very briefly, she says something about, "Oh, please, the door, milady."
The door for you, my lady. After you.
Now, it's a British thing. Mm-hmm. You and I, we're proud Brits, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Do you use the phrase milady very often?
Not
in your own relationship, or when you're out and about?
Not a great deal, I've got to say, no.
Was probably waning in popularity towards the end of the 18th century. Mm-hmm. So, again, it makes me more and more interested in who these co-workers are at Home Depot. Or maybe this is a very, very old story, of course, that may have been handed down to her by her grandmother, her great-grandmother even.
I think you might have uncovered something there. So her great-grandmother shopped at Home Depot in the 18th century, where they had an exclusively British workforce. Of course, there would have been a lot more Brits abroad back then. Because
Pilgrim Fathers, of course, famously established Home Depot.
Yeah, so I think that's a further layer that we hadn't even spotted. You've spotted now. So
we're painting a picture of the Pilgrim Fathers leaving from Plymouth, I think it was, arriving in America to this unknown land, establishing Home Depot, starting to sell lumber and power tools, and from that, of course, America grew at an extraordinary rate to the beautiful land that it is today.
Well, this joke is in many ways then it's the American dream, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow. Jordan Jensen, fantastic. Do comment down below if you've got a video that you'd like us to take a look at, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching.